Yeah, you know Jacuzzi in Valdosta shut down. 110 people laid off.
What's Jacuzzi?
Like
the
Jessica's like, is that a strip club? That's a lot of strippers out of business.
I was like, wow, the entertainment industry just got like flooded.
Everyone's going to be on, what is it? OnlyFans?
Tinder?
I'm like, just for feet? I don't know. OnlyFans. Isn't there one that's like just feet? It's like an OnlyFans just feet.
Yeah, I think it,
right?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just
feet for us.
feet for No, instead of OnlyFans, it's only feet. Okay.
This is Jessie.
No, I saw. Okay. This is Kiki.
And this is Two Girls, One Haircut.
Oh my God. I have to tell you before we get started.
That's fine. Tell me.
We on YouTube
Okay.
have 1,002 subscribers.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we do.
That's amazing.
I know. I'm really excited.
Holy shit. How many of them actually watch videos? Like 2?
Like maybe 3. No, but we have like over 100 watch hours and stuff.
That's
not bad.
amazing.
And I'm like, it's only like 2 months. So we're doing all right.
Wow.
We're doing okay.
That is really exciting.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if any of that will convert to actual listens.
Oh,
I hope it does.
That is really freaking exciting. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
So, we actually are bumping an episode so that way
A couple.
Yes.
We're bumping a couple of episodes.
Yeah, we're bumping like 3 episodes. Because, if you guys have followed us for a little bit, like the 1,000 people subscribe to us on YouTube. Full disclosure, we record on Sundays usually, and we record a couple weeks in advance.
Yeah.
And that's because we have
oh my God, it's hard.
other obligations.
We got to keep up.
You're letting people know that you talk like this on a Sunday.
Yes, where to find us
Your
on
potty
Sunday.
mouths. No, your potty mouths.
Saying,
on a Sunday,
yeah, you didn't know. He's saying we're potty mouth on a Sunday. Yeah,
gotcha.
listen, I'm potty mouth every day of the week. All right.
But so this past week was the 30th anniversary of the 1996 Everest expedition that ended in tragedy.
Yeah, so
and that spurred the book Into Thin Air by Jon Krakauer. And so there's been a lot of publicity around it.
Now, we both read this book.
We have both read this
probably
book.
early 2000s or late. I don't know.
Honestly, I think I only read it maybe like 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh,
because of the movie. I was obsessed.
Yeah, I
with,
hadn't. You made me watch the movie before we did this, and I hadn't seen the movie. I read it. So you had me read the one about the soccer team.
Oh, the one, where they eat everybody.
Everyone's like, what? Oh, Alive. God, we're going to have to cut so much of this. I'm so sorry. Yeah, you told me about the book Alive, which is about that soccer team that like crashed in the Andes Mountains, and like and then there was a movie done, Society of Snow, but the book is so much better. And then that really got me into like nonfiction. And then I read like a ton of stuff about people dying in snow. So I read like other Everest books, and I read up in like Into Thin Air and all that. So yeah, I was like so excited that they were coming. They re-release it every couple of years or twice maybe. They've done it with like updated.
Yeah, he's done a couple re-releases. This is obviously for the 30th anniversary, the most recent re-release, and he's done a lot of press around it.
Yeah, they did a bunch of articles,
and he did a new foreword in the book.
Yeah.
But so today's theme is all things Everest.
Yeah, we're talking about Everest,
and
I
will say
talk about the crazy stuff that happened.
Kind of like space. We think this is a bad idea. Not the episode.
Not the episode. Going up and trying to climb Everest. We're like, hashtag not interested.
I know. I've never like once looked up at the sky and been like, oh, look at that airliner. I'd like to climb that high. Yeah, like, could I get on a Stairmaster and just keep going all the way up to 30,000
I was tired.
feet?
I had to climb the stairs like 4 times this morning before coffee because I kept forgetting stuff, and I was like, I'm dying. I summited it 4 times today.
I'm like climbing the little hill in our neighborhood, and I'm like, what world or what planet were people like, oh yeah, let me just climb up 30,000 feet. That sounds like a great idea. Let's do this for fun.
Yeah, while rereading the book, the only thing that kept popping in my head is what is wrong with these people? Like, I mean, you know, no disrespect, but also like,
but also
crazy.
like what piece is missing in your brain that you're like, this, hey, what do you want to do for the next couple of months?
It would be so much fun if we burned like $100,000 and we like got really crazy and tired and we climbed a mountain.
I'm like, I can help you burn $100,000 really fast
so
too.
Easily, and you won't be that tired.
Exactly. and you will survive.
You'll survive at 100%. Okay.
All right.
We've got a this or that game, as we tend to.
Bang.
Hey, we also have a special contribution to the program this morning, a new contributor, and I'll introduce that a little bit later on.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll go with the this or that first.
I had to strong arm that bastard into helping.
I was like sitting here, I'm like looking at the agenda, the rundown in front of us, and I'm like, who? What's happening?
Just because like we have another person? Are they a surprise?
I was like, is Josh showing up today?
Yay!
All right, we got a this or that. Ready? Number one, caught in a blizzard or an avalanche.
Oh, God. Okay. Binky said this was dark. I would rather be caught in a blizzard because avalanche implies I'm like under all this, like I am crushed by the avalanche. And that to me is like anxiety inducing.
The disaster preparedness person in me like knows how to survive an avalanche.
Oh, really? How?
Yeah, like when it's coming down, like you hunker down, and then once it hits, you start climbing like you're swimming. So that way you can get to the surface.
I wish we had video because you're like acting it out right now for me. Okay.
So like I'm going to try the avalanche because the blizzard, here's my concern. I'm on Everest. There's a blizzard. I walk off a cliff. Like, I just feel like
that legit happens.
I just feel like that's like very me.
I don't think you should ever go on any mountaintop because you would easily walk off of them. Like easy.
Walk, tumble, roll. Like
anything.
All the things. I don't think we've ever told the story about.
Oh my God.
About me being in France with Pontoon Hawk.
Oh my God.
Should we like take a like tangent
we're gonna take
quick?
We're gonna take a second.
This is why I can't hike Everest because so when we were
doing a study abroad program in France,
in Normandy, and we went to Pontoon Hawk, which is
World War II stuff, like where there was
nothing to do with Haktua.
No, definitely not.
I don't even know what is.
Do you really not know what he's referencing?
No.
Oh my God. It's this like viral meme thing where this lady talks about sucking dick.
Ew.
And talks about too.
And she made millions of dollars.
I did not.
Wait, she made millions of dollars what? Telling people how to suck dick?
Because the first initial video went viral, then she was on talk shows and invited to events to speak. Probably 3 years ago.
I was going to say only in the last couple of years.
That's a part of the internet I don't need.
Okay. So Pontoon Hawk. Also, I want to make note that Binky brought that up, not me.
I know. Y'all are, you're rubbing off on him.
I know,
it's
in
really
a very
shocking.
bad way. I mean, I'm a little disconcerted at the moment. We're gonna have to go home and have a talk.
I'm upset just because I don't want to know any of this.
So Pontoon Hawk is where the probably Army Rangers parachuted in for World War II.
And there's all these there's all these bomb craters up there. It's a really high cliff. It's beautiful looking over the water, but there's like all these craters and dips.
Yeah.
And you're walking around it looking at like the sites and the bunkers and stuff, and they're like, be really careful, try to like, and while we're there is a team from Texas A&M because it's technically considered American soil in France. And so they're surveying it for danger.
And what does Jessie do?
Jessie
walks around the top of one of the craters
and tumbles down into it and breaks her leg in like 3 places
and shatters my ankle.
Of course, we're like, she's just being dramatic.
And by the time I finished rolling to the bottom of the crater, my ankle was already like the size of a baseball.
It is. And they're like, oh my God, we have to get her to the hospital. And so they bring out this, she can't walk.
And we are nowhere near the bus.
You have to walk quite a distance to get from the bus to the edge of the cliff.
And they roll out the wheelchair
from like World War II.
It was no joke.
It was a rickety ass
wooden
wheelchair, and people were like, "Get her on the wheelchair. We're gonna push her." And I was like so hell bent on getting you there that everyone's like, "I'll push it." I'm like, "I got it." And I'm
you had shoe sale face on, and you had like game face.
I
and
was
you were
determined.
You were like, get in. And I got in, and you were just like, and
it's like on a gravelly path. There's no regular road.
Oh my
and I'm
God.
just like, we're going to do this. And I'm like, just hold on. I like get you back to the bus.
And they're like, everybody has to get back on the bus.
Everybody has to leave.
We have to go to the hospital.
And of course, the number one thing that people show up at that hospital is for people who have fallen at Pontohawk and broken something. They're like, we have this all the time, like every day. And I'm like, oh my God. And it's in France, and they're trying to strip her down in public.
No,
and like,
the best part is, like, we're on the bus. I'm sitting in the front of the bus because I can't even get up into the bus. So I'm sitting on that, like, jump seat next to the driver.
Yeah.
And they're like, put your leg
up and support it. And it's where it's broken.
Yes.
But we didn't know that.
Yeah. And I was like, I can't do that because I tried to put it up and I could feel it popping in and out of place.
Yeah. They're
and
like, here, prop it up. And you're like, oh, dear God.
I was like, no.
She's like, nobody touch me. It was insane. And she had to be...
I think Jessica Dial took off my pinky ring or my toe ring. because I had
so grossed out that first of all, I can't believe you just called yourself out that you wore a toe ring.
Thank you. It was like early 2000s.
That's disgusting.
So it was that or a belly button ring. I had a toe ring. I did not have a belly button ring.
I'm so grossed out.
I'm also
right
a
now.
Floridian, and thank you. All Floridians, please speak up.
I've never worn a toe ring. That's
most
disgusting.
Floridians are people from like the beach area have a toe ring.
No,
and I remember Jessica
the more you
Dial.
say toe ring, the more I'm coming out of my skin right now.
And I remember Jessica Dial, one of our good friends who was there with us, and like she is, I will say, Jessica is always a champ. Like she is the person who is like,
get done.
Yes, she is that person. She's like, oh, that has to happen. I'll do it.
I think she was the one who thought of it. She was like, we need to get this off of
before
you because your foot's swelling.
Yeah. And she was just like, and went in there and pried it off. And I was like, God bless you. I love you so much. Between you and Kiki, like, I will survive this.
The only reason I survived is because you had to be sent home because you weren't going to have surgery there. And you had to be flown back to the United States, escorted by a doctor, a French doctor, first class, because you had to have room to have your leg propped up, and you had to be flown back because they had to put like bolts and things in your leg.
Yeah, if they did the surgery in France, we should have done it because we wouldn't have paid for anything in France.
Yeah, but you don't want to
BT
have it done in
dubs.
France.
Well, if I'd have done it in France, they would have put a plate in my leg.
Yeah, they wanted to do
4 screws.
Like they wanted to go do way more than I think was necessary.
And when I came home, instead they did 2 screws in my ankle, and we just let
they set it, put the screws in, and they're like,
and then
you can't walk on it.
and then just let the leg
she had a
heal
boot
naturally
on forever.
Oh, for like 6 months.
But Jess was there with me. Jessica Dow was there with me after you left, and I was like, oh, thank God. Because I don't know if I would have been so upset if you had left. And I was just like, I mean, I had other friends there and stuff.
And do you remember, so the next year we went back, and I was like, I really want to go see
the crater that I fell in. It was like a dip.
It was like
the shallowest. It was like
a gradual incline.
It was nothing. There was nothing there.
There was literally nothing
and she
there.
kept being like, it was so big, and I'm like,
it was so deep, and I couldn't get out, and
so her war story at Pontohawk.
And I was like, no, that can't be the one, and everybody was like, no, that was the one, and I was like,
yeah, I told
that's
you,
really
I kept telling you it wasn't deep, and you didn't believe me. Anyways, okay, so
this is why I can't climb Everest, because I will probably.
I mean, that's not the only reason.
I'll probably roll my ankle, fall into a crevasse, and like it won't
even be a crevasse. It'll be like a tiny dip in the snow, and you'll be like, I almost died.
Did you answer number 1? I can't remember.
I said blizzard,
and I said avalanche.
She wants to.
Yeah, I'm going to swim out of the avalanche,
which is the worst idea I've ever heard in my life.
Well, number 2 is frostbite toes or snow blindness.
Snow blindness, because it's temporary.
Oh.
Did you know? Did you write this, and do you know what snow blindness is?
Yeah, I just didn't think about it from the temporary standpoint.
It usually corrects in 24 to 48 hours. And so for anyone listening, snow blindness can happen it doesn't even have to happen at the beach, right? Mm-hmm. It like you can have, it's basically just sunburning your eyes. So you can have that like, did I say the beach? It doesn't have to happen in the snow. It can happen at the beach. It can happen like on
anywhere where there's like concentrated UV.
Yeah, and also
rays.
Because when you're climbing like Everest, the
sun is reflecting
atmosphere,
off.
You have more UV.
Oh, it's thinner. Yeah, because
you have more
ozone
UV,
layer.
Ozone layer center. You have more UV coming through, so it's even more of a thing there. And then all the snow, and it says when it reflects off the snow, you get like 80% more.
Yeah.
than like you would normally.
I have this theory that if we really want to like help with global warming, we need to all have reflective material that we put on top of our cars when they're just parked throughout the day, because that actually reflects the light into the atmosphere and works like snow on mountains and actually helps cool the air and the environment.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know if that's a good or smart idea, but it sounds genius.
It does sound genius, right? Like if we all did this, like imagine
every car
the
had
impact. Yeah, because the problem is
every rooftop.
the snow caps are melting, which creates less of that reflective ability, which then in return creates more warmth.
Oh my
so
God.
we just So if we all did this, though, think of the collective group power.
I literally
this reflective
you're
ability.
blowing my mind right now.
I hope somebody like is listening to this and like shares it with like either Bill Gates or like Elon Musk, and they're like,
Musk.
that girl from that
Saved
podcast
the world.
with the haircut.
But which one was it? Because they have the same haircut.
I'm fine. Either one of us
Either
can
one.
get credit.
Yeah, I say 100% snow blindness.
I kind of feel like if it was just a pinky toe, I'd be okay with it.
Not the pinky toe that you keep your toe ring on, though, is it?
No, you don't wear a toe ring on your pinky toe.
I don't know,
You
'cause
wear
it's
it on your
disgusting.
second toe, you weirdo.
I thought it was called a pinky ring.
No, this is a pinky ring.
I got you.
This is my pinky, and that's a ring.
I think it's all terrible.
I'm okay with losing like a little baby toe.
Okay, well,
It's like one less thing to pedicure.
No. Apparently, you have to put like pennies in your shoes when you lose
Why?
toes for the weight distribution. You already wobble. You would weeble wobble and fall over.
Oh God, I know, but being blind for a while, just even if it's temporary, sounds
It's not
freaky.
complete blindness. It's just like, it hurts.
I don't know. I just feel like the idea
Yeah,
of burning
no,
my retinas
snow
out
blindness.
sounds awful.
Anytime somebody talks about frostbite, there was a book like I read in 4th grade, and I constantly go to this one little piece in it. It may have been Jack London. It was like in front of the fire, maybe. Okay,
Jack London to build a fire.
to build a fire. There you go. Yeah, he's talking about. I mean,
You read that in 4th grade?
Yeah, he has frostbite, and there's like a whole inch of his bottom of his foot just peels off, and
That fucker shouldn't have attacked the dog.
I have
He
that
lost his
image
best friend.
forever.
I literally have no idea what either of you are talking about right now.
He just lost a complete feeling of his foot, and he was actually kind of
It's a short story
too
by
bold
Jack
to do
London.
it. Yeah,
To build a fire, and it talks about how like he's out.
Oh, was it by Jack London? Is it called To Build a Fire? Was there something about frostbite in it? That's all I know, guys.
I'm about to tell you,
Okay.
and you're snarky
So
interrupting me. He's out stranded. It's like it's cold, and he has a dog with him. And I mean, the whole idea is that he's out there and he doesn't have food and he has to keep warm.
Out where?
And he's like, I don't know, out in the wilderness.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've read it. And he has a dog with him, and then he, instead of using the dog to help him stay warm and like comforting,
You didn't want to cut it open like a tom-tom?
He tries to eat, like catch the dog to eat him, and the dog leaves him.
Oh God.
And it's
That's
like,
sad.
yeah,
On a lot of levels.
Well, and so, he's fucked. But like, he should have used the dog for like body warmth, and the dog and him could have, anyway.
and part of the concept is he was very arrogant. He didn't prepare well.
Yeah, he didn't
should have
prepare well. He
Oh.
makes bad choices.
So like everybody on this expedition.
So everybody on Everest.
Gotcha.
Anyone who's ever climbed Everest.
And I guess number 3 here does need some context because it just says lose a glove or lose a boot. I mean, if we were out in the summertime and I lost a glove or a boot, I wouldn't care. But we're going to say if you're on Everest, right?
I want to lose a glove.
I feel the same way because I feel like losing a boot could really
Because
be
tuck
bad.
your hand in, right?
Yeah.
Tuck it in, like pull it into the jacket,
Yeah.
like.
But I
tuck
feel
it
like
under
a boot, especially with like crampons and stuff
Oh,
like
no,
that,
you need
like
that boot.
that could be like you're fucked.
One of the craziest thing is we'll talk about this, but like in the movie and in the book, like they keep finding people and they're like, oh, she didn't have her gloves on. They were hanging off her, not on her hand,
Yeah,
and
that's
she didn't
because-
have her hat on. And they're all going through
that's
this
because
like.
once a certain level of hypothermia kicks in, you're actually hot.
Well, no, but also because they're so out of it. Because they're at higher
Because of
altitude,
hypoxia, yeah.
and I'm like, it's insane to me. Like they're like, the gloves right there. Just tuck your little finger in it. Ugh.
Number 4, descend in darkness or ascend in bad weather.
Descend in darkness.
Me too.
Because bad weather, you can have like more of a whiteout situation, and I feel like you have your lights.
Yeah.
and it is colder, but I'm gonna go with descend in darkness
Me
from
too.
what I've read.
Me too.
I feel like that's the smarter choice.
We probably need some explanation on number 5 here. Deli belly or attitude sickness.
I didn't look at all of
Not
these.
attitude, altitude.
Sorry, altitude. Or attitude sickness is better. Actually.
Well, Jessica's got the attitude sickness all the time.
Yeah, I guess it does say altitude, sorry.
God.
I don't want deli belly. Is that because they ate the food when everybody got the shits?
Yes. I mean, basically, it's just a nice way of saying poo-poos from the pancakes.
Yeah. That seems racist.
I mean, it probably is a little bit.
I don't feel like we should say that at all. Like, we feel like we're going to have to cut
That's what they call it.
Is that what they call it in the book? Oh, okay, sorry.
Yes.
Isn't that where most of your listeners come from? Didn't we determine that? Like about 2 months ago?
That we have...
10 listeners in Delhi?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I said it was inappropriate. No, I'm going to go with altitude sickness.
I feel like that, too, because...
So
altitude
you can have a
sickness
lot of variations.
Can get better when you adjust, and also it can get better as you descend.
And it depends for the person what you're going to get with the altitude sickness.
Yes, true. It's not.
You can get like severe migraines. You can just have like some vision things. You can have dizziness. You can have trouble eating because of altitude sickness. So like you can't keep food down. Instead, like you try to eat and it makes you want to throw it up. But if you have like poo from the pancakes, it's so draining. I feel like, and then you're like you're just, it's too much. I'd rather do the altitude sickness.
Yeah, me too.
Number 6. Freeze to death or die in the desert heat.
Desert heat.
Freeze to death. It's actually very, I was going to say cathartic. That's not the word.
Calm and like peaceful.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I watched that stupid Everest movie and I had to put on an extra sweater and blankie. Like I was cold, and then I'm reading it and I'm like, I gotta layer up.
If you ever want to be traumatized by the heat, read the book "The Heat Will Kill You First."
I know, but I feel like
and you will realize how quickly heat can kill you versus how slow you will die from hypothermia.
Yeah, that's
true. It's not like slow.
But if I know I'm going to go and
but
I have to go, I prefer the heat personally because
I think the hypothermia
heat to me feels better. Like the cold, I just get so cold and shaky and I just can't handle it.
Well, at some point you are so cold that you get hot and then you also just kind of like get sleepy and fall asleep and die. So I think I'm there for that.
How about neither? All right.
Number 7, porta potty at base camp or airplane bathroom on turbulence.
Turbulence bathroom, because that base camp, the movie doesn't do it justice. It's some rough shit going on there.
I'm like, how do you think you got the deli belly?
I'm going to go with an airplane because that means I've already survived and I'm leaving and I'm going home.
I feel like, the airplane bathroom on turbulence, you can like sit there on the toilet, hold on, and like kind of cover up the worst of it. Yeah,
it's fine.
Right, with your booty. But like porta potty at base camp,
no, thank you.
You're taking your life into your own hands.
I don't even think it's a porta potty. I think it's like
it's kind of like a
hole?
a tent with like a bucket.
Ew, no. Okay, gross.
Number 8, accidentally poop yourself in a down suit or throw up inside your oxygen mask.
I'm here for the pooping in my suit.
I think poop in the suit because inside my oxygen mask, I'm going to feel like I'm suffocating.
I know. I feel like, here's the thing,
I'd rather have issues down there than up here.
I'm like, I can poop in my suit. It'll probably freeze up. Also, I won't be able to smell it.
It'll warm you a little bit.
So I'm okay.
That's actually, I agree with that.
Yeah. But like...
It's not going to be stinky because it's so cold and you're going to have... But like if you have... throw up inside your oxygen mask?
That sounds awful, right? And then like you would have to clear it, right?
In order to be able to breathe.
Yeah, and then you could smell that too. Like that just sounds like a really bad idea. It's like they say with like scuba diving, there's 2 kinds of people: those who admit to peeing in their wetsuit, and then those that don't.
Yeah, I know you always
but everybody
say that.
does.
Everybody does it. Yeah.
Here's the last one, number 9, Into Thin Air, which is a book, or Everest, which is the movie.
I'm going to take the book.
I am too. I will say
it's a good movie.
I love the movie. I have a problem. I probably watched it like, I'm not even kidding, 10 or 12 times.
You're like, you've never seen it? I watch it. It's like a comfort movie. I'm like, this is a comfort movie? It's so depressing. I was crying so much at the end.
I don't know. All I think whenever I see Jake Gyllenhaal like sunning himself at Base Camp 1 is, where's the scarf, Jake?
Yeah. Oh, God, Jake. No, But
I will say the book is so good, and like the book contextualizes things that the movie could never have the time to get into.
I think for like a movie adaptation of a book, it's pretty good. But I will say there are first, they kind of romanticize base camp.
Yes, they do.
And in the book, you are hearing all the crazy stuff going on. Everybody's sick, even at base camp. They're sick. They've already had diarrhea from being at the hotel before they went to, which was like a little shack before they got to base camp. They're all tired, and you already start experiencing altitude sickness at base camp. So everyone's really already struggling and tired, and you're like, and now you still get to climb the mountain. But they make it seem like it's a party and everyone's drinking all the time.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I'm not saying that people probably don't party. I just don't think it was quite as much fun as a
depiction.
All right, ladies, kind of sticking with the theme here. We've got a listener, somebody who's pledged they have listened to every show multiple times, sent in a game idea.
Oh, okay. Is that possibly because they're married to one of us?
Is that possibly my husband who I had a strong arm?
Yes, because I've not listened to every show, so yes.
Binky tunes us out about halfway through once we get past the question.
We have to have his participation early on because he's out.
Well, this game is called Mountain or Metal Band.
Okay.
I give you a name, and you decide whether it's a band or a mountain.
This started because there are they talk about in the book like climbing things.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I did the moose hair and the whatever, and I'm like,
devil's thumb.
And I'm like, this is the craziest stuff I've ever heard in my life. So, yeah.
And we were like, what if we made a game out of this?
All right.
The first one, Gorgoroth.
Gorgoroth?
I mean, that's obviously a metal band.
I say that's a mountain.
It's a Norwegian black metal band named after a plateau in The Lord of the Rings.
I was going to say, it felt very Lord of the Rings.
It did, and that's probably why I got it.
Oh, that is so why you got it. You're such a Lord of the Rings nerd.
I'm like, all right, I've got one. This is the competitive
okay,
Jessie coming out. I'm like, all right, I got one.
Liquid Sky.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm going to go with
mountain.
Yeah, it's a mountain climb, a notoriously difficult rock climbing route in the Shawangunk Mountains in New York State.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, like New York?
New York.
Okay.
New York State.
All right,
yes.
nice.
Wow.
Okay.
All right, number 3, Annapurna.
Oh, that's a mountain.
You know that? Oh, okay. It's a mountain.
It's a massive in the Himalayas, 10th highest peak in the world.
Oh, wow.
Jessica's like, you know that? Yeah, it's the 10th highest in the world. It's Annapurna.
Oh, and what's the 8th?
Your mom's butt. Not really. Mom's got a cute butt.
Sorry, Pam. Yeah. All right, number 4, 5. The next one, Cataclysm.
I think
that's
it's
a
both.
band.
I think it's both.
It is a Canadian death metal band known for their northern hyperblast style.
Yes, that's not fair. You got one of mine because you copied me.
Yeah, but you said it so confidently that you gave me the answer. Wait, that's your fault.
Dang it. I'm losing hard.
I lost at Domino's really bad the other day, and I haven't been okay since. So
you need a win. All right.
Iced Earth.
Oh, I think that's a metal band, too.
Metal band.
It is a mountain climb and a metal band.
Do we get like half a point?
Grueling
or how does
ice
that work?
route on the alpine face of Long's Peak in Rocky Mountain National Park, and a well-known American power thrash metal band.
All right.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
I get a half a point.
I don't know
right.
metal bands at all. That's a halfer. We're holding up our fingers and like halves.
Half
Okay.
flicking each other off.
And you may want to hashtag some of these to make sure that I'm pronouncing them right. You can put them on the the hashtag.
Oh, you're
and-
definitely not.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I can tell you that
How
right
about
now.
Erebus?
Oh, that's a
I think that's
mountain.
a mountain.
It is a band and a mountain.
Oh,
It's an active volcano in Antarctica
Oh,
and an
point.
American death metal band.
Ooh,
Okay.
active volcano.
I was like, I hedged my bet.
I'm like
I
Arabella the spider.
thought- but she's in space.
Deep cut.
All right, Behemoth.
Oh,
Band.
mountain.
It's an iconic Polish black death metal band.
Oh, because it kind of sounds like Beelzebub, which I'm like, that's like devilly.
I
so.
thought it sounded like behemoth, so
It's a big boy.
and I was like, that'd be a mountain. I was like, big boy.
Krakatoa.
Oh, Krakatoa is a mountain and a metal band.
Isn't Krakatoa a place?
And you know this because of Seinfeld, I'm betting.
I
No.
don't.
The little Krakatoans.
No, I don't know.
What?
I think that was the excuse, or Jerry said he was collecting money, raising money for the Krakatoans the first date he went on with Lang.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he got somebody to come up and bring it up so he could impress her.
Okay, so that's a mountain.
It is a band and a mountain.
Oh, it's both. I was right.
Famous
what the hell is
Indonesian
with both
volcano
of these?
and a British heavy metal band
I
from the 70s.
told him to mix them up.
Well, it's not mixing them up. That's just like...
Oh, my God. Stop complaining. You're still winning.
I can't tell if I'm winning or not. Okay.
Okay.
Darkness Visible.
Oh, that's a band.
Mountain.
A legendary and dangerous ice route in Scotland.
Yeah, we're tied. Oh.
Son of a bitch.
We're tied. Oh, my God. We're tied.
Shit's getting real. I'm not okay.
Matterhorn.
Oh, that's a mountain.
It is a band and a mountain.
Oh, okay. We get a half.
An iconic jagged peak in the Alps and a 1980s speed metal band from Switzerland.
Jessica
and in
knows it's a
quotations,
mountain
this is
because of
naturally.
Disney World.
That's a true story.
Yeah, the Matterhorn ride.
Morgoth. Or Morgoth.
I think that's a mountain.
It is a band.
Dang.
A German death metal band and a peak in the Shadow Mountains of Tolkien's Middle-earth.
All these. How can you be metal if you're naming your band after a Nerd Alert book?
Yeah. Do you
That's
think
not
it was
metal.
intentional or accidental?
No, it's intentional.
Oh, okay.
Excalibur.
I think
Band.
it's a band.
It's a mountain.
Damn it.
And a band. A terrifyingly steep and thin ice climb in the
We're
Italian
at 6.
Dolomites and a British heavy metal band.
Jinx, we're at 6. Okay. How many are there?
You got 2 more.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Denali.
Oh,
Oh,
Denali's a
mountain.
mountain.
Highest mountain peak in North America.
Yep, I knew that one.
And the final one is Funeral Fog.
Oh, I hope that's a mountain.
I think it's both.
It is a band. And a mountain. A common and deadly weather event on K2.
I
and
beat you by half a
song
point.
album
No, you didn't. We
by the
tied.
black metal band Mayhem.
Yeah, because I said I had a half a point on a previous. Wait, I
We
don't.
both had.
Damn
Yeah.
it! Did we tie?
Yes.
Like I kept score.
Anyone else at home listening, tell us who won.
Yeah, please. And I need it to be me.
I need it to be Jessica too because she gets crazy.
So, ladies, why are we doing this kind of show today?
We said that earlier,
Oh,
even
did you
though
already
you
do that?
weren't listening to
All
us.
right,
But thanks, Bing.
we'll skip that. I was trying to get you to move on to the where it says the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, so we
'Cause you're halfway.
are going to
34
tell you
minutes.
all about the crazy stuff about climbing Everest.
I also want to make note that I spelled tragic wrong.
In the notes, did you? Where is it?
Instead of tragic spelled TRADGIC, it spelled it TRADJIC.
Oh God,
Which is very tragic.
It is tragic.
So,
Where do we even start?
I don't know.
It's so crazy.
first off, I want to talk about how the mountain Everest is not actually named off of, like, you would think it was named
After
on the
someone who
person who
climbed
first
it.
summited it.
Yeah, I
Which
know.
it's not.
It's
It's
not.
named after the boss of the guy who did the surveying in India
Yeah.
and determined it to be the highest peak. And he's
Yeah.
like, here, let me
I'm
name
gonna
it
name
for
it
my
after
boss.
my predecessor.
Let me be a brown noser, Sir George Everest. And, yeah. And
Yeah.
talk about British colonization and
Yeah.
robbing everybody of everything that's good and proper.
that annoys me because they kind of make that reference in the movie, and they're like, "Oh, of
course.
Everest," and I'm like, "No."
If we'd have named it after one of the people who like first summited,
Yeah.
it would be after an Aussie. Which
Oh.
I don't know if that's any better. That's Sir Edmund Hillary
Yeah, but
and his Sherpa guide Tenzing Norgay.
but Mount Hillary doesn't feel like. Does it feel like Mount Everest is a big thing because you know Everest as the biggest, tallest mountain, or is it that?
I feel like if it was called Mount Hillary, there would be a lot of Hillary Clinton like memes associated with it, which is not fair to Hillary Clinton.
No, that's not.
But let's see, it is technically well, they say it's the tallest peak, but do you know it's not actually the tallest peak? That there is a taller peak in Hawaii called Mauna Kea. And it's over
did not know
10,000
that.
meters tall when measured from its underwater base on the ocean
from
floor.
underwater, but from like.
So it's the highest peak at sea level,
At
but
sea level.
not actually the tallest mountain base to peak.
But the tallest you can climb because it's sea level. Because you're
And it's 29,031 feet, which basically is cruising altitude for a 747.
Yeah, it's insane. So in the book,
Okay.
he goes and does this because he's like a writer for, what is it, like
Outside
Magazine, I think it is. And they
have it somewhere.
They want him to go write about, they don't want him to climb at first. They just want him to go write about people who are climbing Everest. And at first he said he turned that down a couple times because he was like, I can't go and not try to climb it. Like, I will be stir crazy because he does climb. He's a climber.
He is a climber.
He has experience. And then he goes back to them and he says, hey, would you be willing to do this and let me climb? But it's expensive.
It is.
So it can cost anywhere.
And that was like 30 years ago. It was still like $65,000. And now it's around $100,000.
Yeah. And so he's like, they'll never go for this, but I'm going to ask anyways. And they come back and they're like, we're going to make it happen because we want you to go and write about this.
Yeah. And one of the ways they make that happen is by they paid like $10,000, but then they exchange
like advertising and they get the cover. And so he climbs with
Rob Hall, the leader of Adventure Consultants. Originally was supposed to climb with Scott Fisher of Mountain Madness Expedition, and had a little bit of hesitation about switching to climb with Rob because he didn't know Rob, but Rob had a really good stellar reputation in the industry. And so he was an Aussie, or is he a Kiwi?
He's a Kiwi, I'm pretty sure. And so that's kind of like what leads to him writing this book, because he was actually just writing an article.
Yep.
And talking about the tourism and all the things that go with it.
The commercialization of Everest.
Commercialization, all of that. And so, they climb, and I was going to say hijinks ensue, but no, like disaster happens. And, we're going to talk about kind of how crazy it is that people want to climb Everest, because I don't mean disrespect to the people who died, because a lot of people died.
And I wanted to take a minute just to, because it is 30 years and there were people who died, I wanted to take a moment to remember the people that he mentioned specifically on their in the book and in their expedition, because there were other people who passed away. But Rob Hall, again, the leader of Adventure Consultants, passed away. Doug Hansen, who was a postal worker and an amateur climber, this was his second attempt at summiting. He passed away. Scott Fisher, who is the leader of the Mountain Madness Expedition, who him and Rob ended up teaming up together and working together on the climb. Andy Harold Harris, or he was called Harold, but he's referred to like when you see
Harris.
In Andy Harris, who was a Kiwi professional climber, but his first time actually summiting Everest, and he worked for Adventure Consultants. And then Yasuko Namba, who was the second Japanese woman to climb in summit all of the 7 summits, and she passed away. And so we will have fun today with this, because
we're talking about the crazy idea, but we don't want to be disrespectful to these people. It's very sad,
especially with it being 30 years later. I just
watched
want to
the movie and I cried so hard. I read the book and I had to reread, because that's the second time I read it, and I had to break up the last couple chapters over 4 days, because it's not a long book. It's 230 pages,
but it's very heavy.
But once everything starts hitting the fan, it's so sad, and I was just like, I can't handle this right now.
Did you? So I know you had never seen the movie, and I had encouraged you to watch the movie, and I had done it the other way. I had watched the movie and then read the book, and I said that I thought it helped me in reading the book, because even though those aren't the real people, I had a character that I could associate with it, and it was easier for me to keep track of who was
I would suggest that if you haven't done either and you want to, you watch the movie, then you read the book.
Yep.
Because when I read the book the first time and this time, rereading it, there are so many names and there are so many people, and you're kind of like, wait, huh? What? Who? And it's not like he doesn't do a good job keeping it straight, and he's like, just remember, this person's on that team, or this is the same name, but it's not that person.
But it's a lot if you don't know.
And when you have just somebody to put that to, you're like, because when I watched the movie in the middle of reading the book, and it made it so much easier finishing it.
Yeah.
I was like, got it. I now can remember who this person is. So climbing Everest is insane on your body. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah. I mean, all the all the ways you can die.
Well, so Krakauer talks about climbing and all the strain on your body. And like we said, before they even reach base camp, people are sick. They have like stomach stuff going on. They're shitting their brains
Well, think
out.
about it. Even if you take like cross-contamination and norovirus and stuff like that out of play, you still are in a different country, eating different food that you're not used to.
Yeah.
You're in a different altitude, which is already going to like messes with how you digest stuff. It also messes with how stuff is cooked, because it takes actually longer like to cook
Well,
stuff.
it's like on planes, like people who do food, like chefs who create food for planes, like because of like it
Things
cooking in
taste
altitude,
different.
it tastes different. And they have to like season them differently. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And so they're all like sick before they even get to base camp with just like feeling ill. And then they talk about how, like we said, altitude sickness already kind of can start at base camp because you're so high.
Yeah.
And they have doctors there like a doctor who's there to like help with all kinds of stuff. But people are experiencing migraines. They're sick. They can't eat. They can't keep food down.
And I thought it was really interesting in the book. Krakauer talks about how like there's a different kind of medicine that needs to happen at high altitude. Like having someone who is a proficient climber as well as a doctor that practices in high altitude medicine can make a difference, because again, there are medications and things that you can give people, dexamethasone, steroids, other stuff, other like NSAIDs, painkillers, things like that. But you have to understand what you're working with, because the reality is a lot of these things overlap and seem the same, right?
They do.
So like hypoxia can sound a lot like HACE, which is high altitude cerebral edema, which can be a lot like altitude sickness where you're disoriented.
So like HAPE, what is HAPE?
So HAPE is high altitude pulmonary edema. And then HACE is high altitude cerebral edema. And the best way to think about that, pulmonary edema, when you are at extremely high altitudes, your blood vessels are getting constricted, right? And it's forcing fluid into the lungs. So pulmonary edema, pulmonary meaning lungs, edema meaning fluid. And so you've got fluid on your lungs.
You're like suffocating and
Well, you're drowning. You're drowning
internally
in your own fluid that is filling up the air sacs of your lungs. And then the difference in cerebral edema, cerebral being your brain, and then edema being fluid. So at high altitudes, again with that, the constricting of the blood vessels in your brain, it is pushing. Your brain vessels dilate trying to like get more oxygen. It causes increased pressure in your brain, but we all know that your brain, your head, your skull, it's limited in space, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it can only push so far because you've got your skull.
It's like when people go into the hospital and they have to drill holes.
Yes,
like,
to relieve the pressure.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so it's forcing the fluid to leak into the brain tissue. And because it's this rigid box, the swelling causes dangerous, life-threatening pressure on the brain. But it can look like hypoxia and altitude sickness because it's confusion, disorientation,
and so
headaches.
One of the way they try to curb this, and like Rob specifically has like kind of like a methodology he does, and they start at base camp and they go, because it's like base camp 1, 2, 3, 4, right, and then summit. And so he has them train going up and down, practicing together.
They take time.
They go up, they stay there, they go back down.
They
so
just have climatizing days where they're not doing any climbing.
Yep.
They're just sitting around. They're getting used to breathing the air.
They're going. Then they'll go up to like camp 2, and then they're going to like camp 3, and then and so camp 4 is before you summit. And when they're at camp 4, they have to sleep with oxygen.
Yeah.
Like, so during these, they're not really using oxygen the whole time until they're above 4 going for the summit.
Yeah, because once you're above like that 26,000 feet, it's considered the death zone.
Yeah,
and that's because the air is so thin that the human body cannot survive indefinitely.
You're basically slowly suffocating.
Yes, and I'm sure sometimes it doesn't feel slow.
No, but and so when they're climbing, they'll do like where they walk a couple steps and they'll take like a hit before they're doing full on oxygen and stuff. But then it just kind of blows my mind because it's it's extremely different game once they're at base camp or at Camp 4. They're at Camp 4, like, and so they kind of talk about like we're going to go summit, right?
But Krakauer talks about how like restless because he's in pain.
He's
right?
in
like
pain.
everything.
He can't sleep. He can't eat. He can't keep food down.
He feels like he can't breathe with the mask on. He can't breathe with it off.
Oh yeah, he talks about like how he thinks he's suffocating and he takes it off and he realizes like no, he wasn't suffocating. Now he's suffocating. And so when they are like, we're gonna summit, right? Like we're gonna go for the summit. So that means now we have to go to base camp 4 or I keep saying base camp 4, and then from Camp 4 you go up to the summit and back down. And ideally you only want to be there like that night before you, because they go really early in the morning. Like
they're like leaving at like midnight.
Yeah,
because the thing is they have most of them have like a turnaround time around 2 o'clock because
1 or 2 o'clock.
Because
if you don't make it to the summit, you got to turn around and you got to come back down because you need to be coming back down before a certain time when it gets cold and everything starts icing again. And it's a whole thing with
you got a window.
You have a window. And so like Krakauer talks about how before they've even gone to go to the summit, he's lost 20 pounds of muscle and all subcutaneous fat.
Which is insane.
That is insane. I was like, I need to go climb Everest to get rid of this fat.
That's what I thought too. I was like, can I just go to base camp? Because let's face it, I'm not getting above base camp.
I'm barely going to make it to base camp.
I'm not going to make it through the like Khumbu ice fall. So,
oh my God.
If I could just go to base camp and just like be in the cold for a little bit, because like you have to consume so many calories in order.
Cold
your body is literally eating itself.
Yeah,
so you have to like consume so many calories even to just maintain your weight. Can you imagine GLP-1s plus base camp?
No, you would die. You'd be so skinny.
I probably would because I already feel sick at the sea level I'm currently at on the meds that I'm currently on.
And also, I will say, lately, like I'm so much colder all the time.
Yes, what is that?
I think I don't know. I mean, it's not just like, oh, you were fat and you were hot. Like I'm just like cold all the time, and I'm like, I just watch this and read it, and I'm like, I can't handle it. I couldn't do it. So he's already like lost all his body fat. Like he literally has no body fat. He's lost like a ton of muscle. And now they're like, yay, we're going to go summit.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
But when you're reading the book, like, so the thing I feel like we felt like the movie couldn't contextualize enough, right? Not that they didn't try, but that it's hard to convey as much as, because it's like, how do you show this without just like watching people in their tents 24/7, but like the physical toll that it takes on people 24/7, 365, right? That they're constantly in this state of feeling like shit, that they constantly feel like they're, suffocating, that they constantly have headaches and all this other stuff. And that is
like
just,
blinding headaches.
It is a painful experience just existing on the mountain.
Because they talk about how when they go from like Camp 3 and stuff, and then they go back down to base camp, they're like, I feel like the air is so rich and thick and it's amazing. But before to them, it was like not great.
Yeah.
And so once they get to Camp 4, he's like, sleep with your oxygen.
Yep.
You need to sleep with oxygen because you're up here and it's already too high. And Krakauer like takes his off because he can't sleep and he feels like he's suffocating with it, and he tosses and turns all night before they go climb.
But I think you and I are both in agreement that
you're crazy if you're climbing Everest.
Yes. Besides that. But the other thing that I think we're in agreement in is that this was like a series of unfortunate events. And it, in my opinion, it wasn't one thing that like led to all these people's deaths. I feel like it was a series.
No, but I also feel like, which is kind of the crux of this anniversary, like coming out and him talking about it, is that it's a series of events, but it's also something that can easily happen anytime.
Yeah,
it's
like
not
this is
some rare, unique circumstance of a perfect storm where all these confluences came together, and you're like, oh, that's why everybody died. It's like, no, you go to climb this mountain, and it can happen at any time.
But do you know there's people that like read and study into this the way that people do, like how when people are getting together to try and find the Golden State Killer and serial killers and like the Murdoch,
what about it?
Deaths and stuff. Like people read into this and they're like
dissecting it.
Yes, like true crime detectives.
So they're like dissecting all the things that happened in this expedition.
They're like, at this time, this person was in this place, and this happened, and then this must have happened because. Krakauer admits that every time they have like reissued the book, there's always some kind of change because something different has come to light, somebody's experience or somebody's story. But the reality is like when I was listening, to the book again, I was thinking, you have an account from so many people, and basically it's like trying to find out a story from all these people that were drunk at the same time.
So drunk.
And so everybody has a different perspective and everybody remembers something different. And so you're trying to piece together a truth based off of all these drunk people's experiences.
He didn't even realize how crazy it was and how drunk he felt like from the atmosphere until he started researching the book. Yeah. He wrote the book because he said he wrote it because he wanted to basically warn people off of ever climbing. He wanted to be like, this is hard. This is not just some fun excursion. Don't think that. He basically wanted to like scare people away from it, and instead it drove like this huge amount of people who want to do it because they're delusional.
Well, and I think what's interesting is for anybody who wants to kind of read Krakauer's like current personal narrative on it, there's a great article by Slate.com where Krakauer, this was on the 12th of this year, talks about why he regrets actually writing this book. Like for him, part of this was like a catharsis, or trying to be a cathartic moment to move past this grief and this terrible thing that he experienced, and thinking that it would, like you were saying, warn people off of climbing Everest, and instead it had the exact opposite. It had a huge surging effect of probably stupid Americans who thought, this seems like a great idea, I can do this. That whole optimism bias of like, it's not going to happen to me.
It's crazy to me.
I'm going to be one of the few people that like,
I hear one bad thing and I'm like, we're going to die doing that, don't do it. And all these other people are like, you know what, I think we could be the one person that does it.
But I mean, he still says like that, on some level he regrets writing the book. He regrets
being there.
He regrets being there. He talks about in the book he regrets not taking Beck Weathers down with him. Like on some level it was like,
but hindsight's 20/20.
I know but that's the thing is like, so, you have that guilt, right?
So this is kind of like at the very end, the series of events is they go to climb. Rob's team and Fisher's team, he's like, let's team up. Because they also have to kind of like pre-plan with all these different people, like, when are you summiting? Because we can't all be up there at the same time. It's a very narrow pass. They call it the Hillary step, right? And that's like this really narrow bit before you even get up to the summit. And then it's like, they didn't have ropes up because they were kind of the first. There's like times a year you climb, and they were the first kind of group going up. And so they were
one of the first ones to actually make it all the way up to the summit.
Yeah, so they didn't have like
they didn't have fixed
ropes by Sherpas and stuff. And so they're like, we're going to work together. We're going to go in groups. And, Fisher was really struggling.
And some of that they say they attributed to like Rob had this very intentional process of moving people up and down the mountain.
And Fisher was like, do it as you will.
He was like, he had his team, and they kind of had this mentality of like, if you can't get up there on your own, you probably shouldn't.
Go practice coming up and down on your own. But then he a lot of the times would have to go rescue people,
because you have people who get in trouble and they are your technical clients, and you have to help them.
And a lot of people in hindsight were like, well, he's such a like firm, steady guy, we didn't worry about like even when he was like, I'm just feeling off, people were like, oh, I'm sure he's fine, like he's the guide, he's fine. And so they all go climb. I found it interesting because Krakauer's like was one of the people who actually I feel like did better in the climb, him and this one other guy, and they were kind of always ahead of everybody. And Rob had a very strict rule that you had to wait and do it as a group. You couldn't climb ahead.
Yeah.
And so he would get ahead, and then he's like, we had to wait on is it the balcony? Okay, they have all these names for everything, and I couldn't think. I was like balcony terrace, whatever it's called. He's like, I had to wait 90 minutes on the balcony for the rest of the people to get up to us, which is awful because they're up there, they're freezing, they're not moving, and they say like one step feels like 10 steps. You feel like you're moving slow motion through water, but it takes so long. It takes them hours to get to the summit, and it takes them less than 15 minutes to get back down. Like, it's crazy. They're like 15 minutes and you're back down to Camp 4.
Did you know that the 2015 Nepal earthquake that they had, which actually led to the biggest death on the mountain because of an avalanche, 22 people died, but it actually changed the Hillary Step. Like, and they believe that one of the rocks from the Hillary Step fell and caused the avalanche, but they actually say now it's easier to climb Everest because that big chunk of rock that was the Hillary Step is no longer there. So it's now more of like a gradual incline instead of a sharp incline. Yeah. And it's easier to go both ways on the mountain there because it used to kind of be like it was like a one-way road.
Imagine so like when you see on a movie and people are like, we're climbing along this cliff edge and we're holding on to the wall of the mountain and we're... Do you know what? That's what it's like.
Do you know what it makes me think of when you watch like movies or TV shows and they always show like Scotland and they're driving on these roads and it's just like a one lane road and then there's like
but imagine just for a person walking.
Yes, exactly. So it's like that. It's like it's a one lane highway with a couple little spots where you can like and then pull over in order for somebody else to pass you.
And then at the end of that, there's a really sheer rock face. You have to go up. And so. You know, they like Krakauer makes it up there in the amount of time he's supposed to the summit, and other people are struggling. One of the guys, Beck, who you mentioned, he felt bad he didn't help, so he was the Texan, and he had surgery on his eyes.
Yep. And the pressure change at the higher altitude actually rendered him blind.
Yeah. So, and he had been suffering and didn't tell anybody because, you know, these people are just determined and they want to go up. And he is up there like trying to make to the summit and he's like, I can't see anything. And so Rob is like, sit down, wait for me. I'm going to get to the summit and I'll come right back. What I think is so funny is that like even these...
But then again, it's that little series of like unfortunate events because Beck says he knew like his vision was bad on May 9th when they were going up to high camp and he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. And so when he's at Camp 3, it was bad. When he's at Camp 4, it's bad. And he was like literally putting his one foot in the person in front of him, trying to like get
He's like,
up.
That's how I did it. I could see their print in the snow and that's where I'd put my foot.
Yep. And he kept thinking when he got up higher and the sun finally came up that his vision would get better, and then he realized when he got up to the balcony that wasn't happening, and then they're like, you need to go down, and he just kept thinking and this is probably part of that like hypoxia stuff, like I'm gonna wait for Rob never made it off the mountain.
Well, Rob does say wait for me, but and multiple people go by and they're like, hey, come with us, we'll get you down. And also it's not just like they're walking, like these people have to go over ladders that are strapped together over a crevasse, like it is insane. Like the amount of like somebody not being able to see or walk, that's why they can't get back down the mountain, because everybody experiences this basically like they're super drugged and they're drunk and they're making wrong decisions. Like at one point, Jon Krakauer's like, hey, I feel like my oxygen tank is low. He's waiting for people to pass who are going up so he can go back down. And he's like, can you close it? And somebody is so out of their mind, they open it all the way and he runs out of oxygen. Like, imagine you're with like a bunch of people who are wasted out of their mind and they don't know their own name and they're all trying to climb a mountain. This happens to everybody who goes up there, even though they're using oxygen. How does anybody make it down is what I'm thinking.
I think the thing is, like, everybody thinks it's just about making it to the top of the mountain, but it's not.
No, they say it's not making it to the summit. It's making it back down. They say that. They're like, it's not making it up there.
So do you think it's irresponsible to climb without
I think it depends, because there's one guy who doesn't climb with oxygen. They call it British air.
English air.
English air. He doesn't.
Anatoly Bukharov.
But he is somebody, but he also isn't okay with other people not climbing. I mean, he's basically leading and helping people. So I think that's different.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I feel...
He's not dependent on it.
Yeah, I have mixed emotions about it because I feel like...
I don't think the average person should.
I don't feel like the average person could. But also at the same time, if you're dependent on that oxygen and you run out... you're just fucked.
I mean, there's somebody at one point who gives Krakauer their oxygen because they have climbed without.
Yeah, Mike Groom, one of the.
Yeah, Mike Groom. He's done it before where he didn't have oxygen, so he gives him his oxygen because he's like, I can make it without it, so take mine. Yeah, because he's more acclimated to that, like acclimatized to that. But I don't think people should be climbing without oxygen, especially if you're someone who's never climbed Everest. Yeah. Like, that's crazy to me.
Do you have a different perspective if the person is a client versus a guide? Like, if a person is a client and they want to try and do it.
If they're a client, they should be forced to use oxygen. Or at least have it carry it with them.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you've never done it. You don't know. It's just so sad. All these people, all this tragic stuff. Rob never makes it back down because he goes past their 2:00 time.
Yeah,
he goes up with the postal worker that Doug, and Doug had done it the year before and didn't summit, or 2 years before and didn't. So he's like determined to get him up there. And I think Krakauer feels like because he was there writing about it that people pushed past their limit because they didn't want to be the person written about who didn't do it, and he feels a lot of guilt about that.
Yeah, it's the idea of like, does observation change the result, right? So the idea, and I think that, so in that article that I was referencing, I mean, Krakauer talks about that, about how much guilt he feels just by feeling like his presence changed the potential outcome because he worried that it made Rob think, well, I need to have so many people, as many people as possible summit because it's going to make it to
Fisher,
the article.
The year before, no one summited in Fisher's group or something like that. And
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think they talked.
But I think Rob's group all had summited the year before, and
but
so
Fisher hadn't, and it was like his second year, and he was new to like doing the guide stuff, even though he climbed a lot, and he felt the pressure to like get his people up the mountain.
Yeah, but I mean, I just, in reading that article, it's really interesting because it's like, can you imagine that something that you experience that you write about that has really defined who you are in your career? It's one of the things you regret the most.
Yeah,
climbing the mountain,
regrets ever climbing,
writing about it. I mean, it's made you millions. It's made you infamous.
He has so much trauma, and I get it, though, because, like, after he wrote the article in the book, it's that people were writing in left and right saying, you should feel responsible. You should have gone and helped people, even though you were experiencing this and you could barely function. One of the other things I thought was interesting is they all come, like, they're back at Camp 4. People are stuck up on the mountain. They're dying. But the people at Camp 4 are not functioning enough to help.
Yeah.
And there's this huge storm that comes in, which we hadn't said, but like this big storm comes in, and Rob survives like 2 nights on that mountainside, which is crazy. And they all hear the conversation he has with his wife over the radio.
Yeah, that's his last conversation.
His last conversation ever.
His wife is pregnant.
They keep just trying to get him up. They're like, you have to stand up. Moving. You have to move. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. And then he doesn't do it. And he's just so tired and he doesn't have oxygen. And they just keep being like, you got to get up. You got to move. Because they say if you sit down, you die. Like, they're like, when you're on a mountain, all you ever hear people say about Everest is, one, you are unable to save other people.
You have to save yourself.
You have to save yourself. And if somebody else is in dire straits, they're dead. And you have to be able to walk away. And you can't sit down, because if you're like, I need to sit down for a minute because I'm tired, they're like, you'll never get up. It's one thing if you have to wait, like when they're trying to summit and he's like, you got to wait for the group and stuff. But like, they're like, if you're sitting down because you feel like you can't carry on, they're like, you're going to die.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
And so he has all this trauma here. Everyone hears the conversations. He felt like I wasn't able to help anybody. And then...
And Rob's wife, who's back home in Australia, is pregnant with their first child. they actually patch her through on a satellite phone, and
they like connect the phone and the radio,
and she talks to him, and then he passes. I mean, which is like so heartbreaking.
Oh my God. Can you imagine hearing that and being like, I can't help him?
Exactly. I can't.
The
I
trauma.
really can't.
And then they're all like, they all realize because all their guides are dead.
Yeah.
Or missing at this point. None of the guides have come back. And they're like, no one knows what to do. And no one will step up and say, we need to go down to base 3 or like camp 3.
Well, and I think that's where...
Because they're up there without oxygen.
I know. And that's where Anatoly Bukharov comes in, and he actually saves multiple people. He's one of the guides on the Mountain Madness expedition. He is a professional climber.
He doesn't do oxygen.
He doesn't climb with oxygen, and part of his reasoning is if you need it, you're in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Like
if you run out,
you're screwed. And you know, he received a lot of flack because he was ahead of everybody, and then he went down ahead of everybody. And he said he looked at it from the perspective of like, if I have to save somebody, I need to have energy and the capacity to do that. I think
that was great because he's one of the only people that was able to actually help.
And he does this heroic thing where he saves like Sandy Pittman and
Beck. He like
gets Cox, and Beck walks in on his own.
Beck walked in, the guy with the eye issues.
But they had several people who had made it down, and then in this whiteout conditions were only 300 feet or something like that.
Something crazy.
I mean, something so close.
That if it hadn't been a whiteout, they'd be like, oh, camp's right there. And they stumble into camp.
Yeah. But because of the storm, they didn't see. But Bukharov went out multiple times
to get people.
And he struggled because he was like, I couldn't save everybody. But I mean, imagine... And he's one of the only people that did it, too.
And he's also one of the more well-adjusted. Because it's funny because Krakauer talks to other people and they're like, I mean, you have to let it go because it was us or them. Like, we were going to die. We had to save ourselves. Like, I couldn't save anybody else. We did what we could. And he's just like, he can't let that go.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't. And they're like, you got to let it go, man.
Yeah. But I think I would do the same. I think I would be sitting there replaying it over and over in my head of like, what could I have done? I mean, obviously hindsight is 2020, you know, but he references it to being like, you know, being on the mountain to like Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, where it's like you can know where you are or you can know how fast you're going, but you can't know both. It's like you can know certain aspects, but you can't see the whole picture.
Yeah. I mean, so between delays on the mountain because they didn't have the ropes ready, oxygen running low, like one guy, they have points where they pick up oxygen and they like leave a tank and then they get the next tank. And one guy, because he's in his like this hypoxic state of confusion, he's like, they're all empty. And they're not. His gauge is broken. He's confused. He doesn't understand. And so he thinks there's no air, and he's telling everybody there's no air.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Yeah. So that, whether, you know, the dark coming in, people getting separated, radios failing, and confusion, it's just...
I mean, it's just a shit show.
It is.
I mean...
I think... I just am shocked that people read it and they're like, oh yeah, I want to go climb Everest.
And they still think this seems like a good idea.
They think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, what does that say about you? I'm like, you got problems.
Again, nothing about this book or even the movie makes me think, oh, this seems like it would be fun. Like, let's go do this.
I'm like...
Even like a normal hike, I'm like, I feel like I should never leave my house again. Like,
I told you, I'm like, oh, I have to go upstairs. Oh, I'm so tired. No, I think what we've learned is don't climb Everest, people. It's a bad idea.
It's a very, very bad idea.
If you survive, you're going to be missing like toes and your
noses.
Your nose. Beck lost his nose and he doesn't have any fingers on his hands.
Do you think there should be some like requirement of like you have to do X, Y, and Z before you can climb Everest?
You should have climbed this many climbing hours. You should have like, it's kind of like how
I was gonna say, you know, it's like scuba diving. Like
certifying.
In order to get scuba certified, you have to like do different certifications on different levels, so many hours and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know why.
I feel like it should.
I think
it's because they want money and they're like,
I know, and it's like these are very poor countries that this is their economy, and like when I feel like if you take that out of it, right? There's no reason to be on Everest ever.
No,
it's not like anybody has to do this.
Honestly, being like, oh, I went to this base camp on Everest, I'm like, that's enough. Like, that's strenuous enough.
And
that's
I'm
crazy.
like, if anything, what you're doing is disrespectful to the mountain, the environment, and the climate, right? Because
the
Sherpas
feel like that.
We haven't even gone into like how much like trash is there,
we're gonna have to post
and like
that.
dead bodies, and all these things.
Dead bodies as markers.
Yes.
My God.
Yes.
It's so crazy.
So tune in for the post pod
where we're gonna like talk about all the
unhinged stuff.
Yeah,
but
that people don't talk about.
Yeah, crazy.
And don't climb Everest.
Did you know Everest is still technically growing because of the tectonic plates?
Yeah, I was
pushing
thinking
it upwards.
I literally said to Gary, I was like, "Isn't it still growing? Because it's shifting all the time.
It grows about a few millimeters every single year. Isn't that insane?
Yeah, and I bet every millimeter hurts.
Every single inch.
Yeah.
Well, this is Jessie.
This is Kiki.
And this is Two Girls, One Haircut.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, this is Jessie. Real quick, before you go, if you aren't doing this already, please don't forget to follow us, rate us, and leave us a review. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. But 5 stars only, because really, who needs that kind of negativity in their life? And if you've made it this far, you're basically family. So let's act like it and share the episode. Okay, bye.